Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Let us now look at the story of King Elias and the Golden Touch to see how a man fights his worst nightmare as a result of his greed. Once upon a time, a king named Elias was obsessed with gold. Despite having enormous wealth in his kingdom's treasury, he was always unhappy. He was constantly thinking about the wealth he could amass and wished for more. He believed that if he possessed the Golden Touch, he would be the happiest man on the planet because anything he touched would turn to gold. One day, King Elias was counting his gold coins. A Greek god appeared before him and granted him a wish for a few of his good deeds. Without thinking much, King Elias quickly wished for anything that he touched to turn to gold. The Greek god granted King Elias the wish of the Golden Touch and vanished. Later, while the king was sitting beneath a massive apple tree in his garden, an apple fell beside him. The king picked up the apple, and it instantly transformed into gold. The king couldn't believe his eyes. He then touched the apple tree, which turned gold as well. Everything the king touched turned to gold. The king was so overjoyed that he went about touching everything around him, and everything instantly turned into gold. The king was overcome with happiness and excitement. He then entered the palace in a daze, overjoyed. Soon, the king was hungry and was looking to eat some food. However, whatever food he touched turned into gold. Thus, the king could not eat anything, even though he was starving, leading to extreme disappointment. King Elias had a daughter named Eligold. Seeing that her father was hungry, disappointed, frustrated, and troubled, Eligold came running to her father and threw her arms around him to comfort him. But to his utter horror, even Eligold turned into gold as he hugged her back. The king was struck with disbelief and horror. He had turned his dearest daughter into gold too. King Elias' heart sank, and his face turned pale with unbearable grief and pain. He was distraught when his daughter turned into a golden statue. The king cried in agony and was repentant that he had wished for the Golden Touch. It took no time for the king to realize that his greed was his biggest fault. His greed had given him the lifeless golden statue of his innocent little girl. He then pled to the Greek god to take away his wish. Soon after, the Greek god reappeared before the king and felt sorry for his plight. The Greek god reclaimed the king's Golden Touch. The wise god instructed King Elias to take a dip in his palace's pond and then sprinkle the pond's water on the items he wished to restore to their original state. The king did exactly what the Greek god told him to do. He sprinkled water on Eligold after a dip in the pond, and she was back to normal. The king was overjoyed to see his beloved daughter return to her normal self and promised that she would never be greedy again. If you liked the video, give a thumbs up. If you want to enjoy more contents like this, hit the subscribe button and get the notification bell on.